And we're back with some more X4. And today we're going to be getting along with doing the terraforming. We haven't got around to that yet, and well, in the background I let this run on for a bit just to see how the Argon would do. Now over here, these sectors, they all belong to the Terran protectorate. They were the ones we were trying to mess over. Then what they had done is they had pushed through here, secured Getsufun, then they'd pushed through, taken over the Void. They'd also messed over Antigone Memorial, and they had started to push through into second contact, meaning they had pushed their way all the way through to this sector. Now, by making peace with the Paranid over here, we've got all of these to stop putting pressure on top of the Argon. At the same time, we stopped producing ships in Argon Prime that were attacking them, but that's not our fault. That was accidental. We also installed some of our own ship production over here for the Yaki to backstab the Terrans. We managed to clear out a big path, and the Argon and the Antigone Memorial guys have claimed back the Void, and they have claimed back Antigone Memorial. So these two sectors are now firmly under their control. Well, firmly enough. And second contact is completely safe from them. At this point, they should start pushing in here. You can see that the Boron have put up a defense platform. There's an Antiguan defense platform going in. Yeah, there's still Terran stuff in here, but they're fighting. So this place is currently contested, and they're going to kick the snot out of each other. While they're doing that, well, we might as well get on with the terraforming missions. They take a lot of resources and stuff, so let's see what they're about. First up is a warp experiment. What we do is we're going to take this base that we started, and we're going to do a quick test jump to this beacon over here. What are you? Oh, buddy, don't stay near that beacon. Get away. Shoo. I think he's mining. All right, far enough away. I assume.
There appear to be ships at that location. They would be unlikely to survive. Would you like me to continue?
Well, I mean...
Charging the high-mass teleportation drive. Goodness me!
I think we may have accidentally destroyed a ship. Oops, Demeter Sentinel.
The power system is stabilizing.
Okay. We just teleport the whole... Why is there post-its everywhere? This guy's vandalizing the place.
We have collected an immense amount of data. This will keep me busy for some time. Thank you for allowing me to conduct this experiment.
Guy's literally just invented teleportation and he's treating it like an everyday occurrence. That would be, like, literally game-changing for the universe. Now we have to research high-mass teleportation too. This allows the facility to relocate it to a marked location within any known sector. Basically, we can teleport this thing anywhere, which is necessary for doing all the terraforming stuff. To unlock all the terraforming, we don't just need high-mass teleportation. We need to do the second assistant quest line. I think I'm not going to do this in a small ship. I'm going to go grab the Earl King and just, like, smash our way through this one. So, turns out we don't actually need this freelance scientist thing. I thought we really did, but it turns out we just talked to our fishy friend, and he's like, yeah, cool, we've got these new terraforming missions if you want to do them. Rewards minimal. However, I would point out here, this one here strengthens the Antigone Republic, which hurts the Terrans, because, you know, the Antigone Republic are at war with them. This one here strengthens the Antigone Republic, which again hurts the Terrans. And this third one here strengthens the Antigone Republic. So I'm thinking those three are the ones we're going to do. I'm just not sure. One of them, I think, gives them an extra shipyard. I believe it's this one, Atia's Misfortune. We just have to go there and build housing for 250 million people. Right. Could be tricky. Downsides. Right now, we're trying to research the high-mass teleportation. We got to teleport to Alita's Misfortune to do this. Thing is, we need to get our hands on all of this stuff. I've given the money to the station to buy all that stuff and assign them some transport, so they'll have that soon enough. The problem is the Nividium. You need that for lots of stuff, and it's annoyingly hard to get your hands on. No one really sells it. So, no one really sells it. We might as well automate its harvesting. So what we have here is our very first attempt at making a Nividium automated mining station. All it is 4 storages. Just pause the game for a second so it stops chugging so much. There's just 4 large solid storages, 1 medium dock, 1 triple E dock, and that's it. Then what we've done is we've hooked it up with 5 large miners, 1 small miner, and they're all just set to bring this thing to Nividium. We Went into select wares, we selected Nividium, made sure that's the only thing being purchased. We only allow buying from ourselves. That means you have to actually set it to buy. Otherwise, if it's not buying, your miners won't go get it. So we set a mining option to, or we set an option to buy the stuff. We limit it so it's only we're only allowed to buy from ourselves. And then we just assigned miners to it. And the miners go out and get the Nividium, bring it back here and drop it off. We'll sell it to anyone because, well, no one's really going to buy much of it. But soon enough, we'll have the 5... In fact, we already have the 5,000 necessary. Then we'll just build ourselves a miner to transport it to our home base whenever we need additional injections of Nividium.
World near our borders has begun. An unaffiliated third party is reported to be carrying out the process, which has been met with some controversy and debate. Incredibly, the world to be made habitable is a volcanic planet in the Atia's misfortune system. It's hot enough to instantly set your hair on fire, and the ground shakes pretty much constantly. And as if that were not enough, the surrounding space is a veritable hotbed of xenon activity, if you'll excuse my wordplay. We will certainly follow the efforts with great interest and update you as this story develops.
The necessary prep work has been done. What we've got here is Atelia's misfortune. This place here is supposed to be covered in xenon, but because we've been pumping the Argon and the Antigone full of resources, they've basically smashed this entire location out. This section over here actually feeds into Paran in space, and, well, since they've been unified for a while, they've also managed to smash, basically this is supposed to be a xenon-infested sector, and we arrived and yet all the xenon are dead. Long dead. In fact, they've been exterminated. We built a defense platform over here to keep them from causing any problems or backstabbing. Turns out we should have built one on the other side to save them. Okay, well, time to go and teleport over to this location and begin the terraforming process. Now, to do the teleporting, we had to actually first pay the research costs. Now, my understanding is this: you pay the research costs, and then that allows you to teleport. But if you want to teleport again, you have to pay the research costs again. It's not like you can just teleport freely. Every time you do it, you have to pay the exact same costs. Not cheap. Costs a lot of resources. Alright, so we do have a nav beacon picked out. Yeah, we would like to warp experiment to select location. Ooh, there's a lot of ships around us. I wonder if they'll come with us or if they'll just be vaporized. We'll find out, I suppose. Okay, over here. So, I believe we can pick any nav beacon?
There appeared to be ships at that location. They would be unlikely to survive. Would you like me to continue?
Well, yeah. Go for it.
Charging the high mass teleport.
Charging it now? That's cool. Tell you what, I am going to teleport onto this ship. Okay.
Entering system. Atya's misfortune.
What the? Okay. We lost some stuff with the Realm of the Trinity, but there's our new base. It's perfect. Let's go hop aboard.
It seems to have been successful.
Oh, actually, wait. It took the construction ship with it. And any dock ships, but any ships that were not docked were lost. Subordinates-wise, okay, we kept all of the trade ships. All of the subordinates, the trade ships, all that stuff are left. That is good. And your management skill is only 3, and you're running the headquarters. We need to find a level 5 manager for this place. Ah, yes, you can see over here, high mass teleportation 2 has been completely reset. And we can load it up again if needs be. And there's the terraforming menu. I was wondering where this is. Okay. You have to take care of seismic activity, methane, temperature, housing, humidity, oxygen, others, and objective. Right, first, relocate headquarters. Build wheat fields. How the hell do we build a wheat field? Tectonic scaffolding? Volcano caps? Okay, this is going to take some time. Quake. Okay, geothermal power plants. Advanced composites and hull parts. Okay, I finally found the wheat fields. So the wheat fields, though, require you to have completed fertilized soil, temperature, and humidity. So until we fix those, we can't build the wheat fields. Right. You know what? I think we just start at the beginning. Volcano caps. This does not require anything else. We just hit start. And we're going to have to... Whoa. We're going to have to get all those resources. Should be fairly handy. We're going to need to assign a bunch more ships, though. Reason we're going to need Ooh, geothermal. What are you? Okay, we can't start you yet. We're actually in a pretty good location. we're here, that means it's one jump over to this place. From there, it's one jump to Holy Vision. Ignore the little intricate jumps. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps, and we're in second contact flashpoint, which gets us access to all of our food. That's where our where is it? The food buffet is located. And for one more jump, that brings us to Argon Prime, which produces all of our ore, liquid, everything else, factories, all that stuff is there, meaning all of our main producers. In fact, if you go the other direction, it's 1, 2, 3 jumps to second contact and a 4th to Argon Prime. I think we'll get a few large shipyards and a few, like say, give us 100 medium ships and say 20 large ships, and we should be able to haul all the cargo we need there pretty fast. Demeter Sentinels are my ships of choice. Just add those to the shopping list. We'll grab about 40. We'll assign those out. They should be able to do a bunch of the lifting. We could probably assign out 100, but we'll just do 40 for now. Build another bunch of ships. Give us large. I am kind of partial to Shayaku Vanguards. They're not the best, but they just look cool. We'll just chuck on 10 of those. By the time those are all finished, we'll send them down. And then I suppose it's just a case of waiting until that project completes. Okay, that's a bit weird. There's some medium drop drones and some small drop drones listed here. So from what I can tell, the headquarters is building them. And I presume they're something to do with the terraforming. I just can't see whereabouts. And does this consume things partially, or are we going to have every single piece of it in stock before it actually activates? Because if that's the case, we're going to need a lot more storage. Right now, there is a whole bunch of... game's a little bit... Let's pause the game for a second. There's a whole bunch of storage in there. Like, we are just adding on oodles of storage just to make sure we've got enough of everything. Well, that we can hold enough of everything. So I think I'm just gonna let this... well, churn away at this. I think, yeah, someone explained these as massive resource sinks for the late game, and I think that's what's going on. So I'm just going to leave this on SETA mode, which it currently is right now, and just let it grind away for about an hour while I put on some food. Oh, I get it. All the terraforming is done by drones. All of these resources we're collecting is built in bite-sized chunks into drones. The drones fly down to the planet, and that's what's actually doing the changes. Okay, that makes sense. So we just got to finish the volcanic caps and the tectonic scaffolding. No problem at all. As a little aside, this is Atelia's misfortune. As in, this is a planet we're terraforming. As you can see, it doesn't look too happy. It looks kind of burny and death-like. So that ship just flying across in the background, that is incredibly cool. This could take some time. Oh wow, that is a lot of drones. I've even increased the drone production capacity, but yeah, this is still going to take just a few minutes more, I think. Oh, this... okay, I get it. What's happening here is those drones are being made from the resources we're collecting. They go to the headquarters, and then the drones get produced at the headquarters and fired off at the planet. And then they fly a certain distance on the map and then magically disappear, and that increases the percentage of the completed project. And then once we have enough of them done, the project should be finished. You know, we've done the first step of the terraforming. It's complete, and the planet looks the exact same. I thought there'd be like a graphical difference. It's still covered in all that red burny stuff. Checking back at the headquarters, we can go under volcano caps, and it's done. It only took like a bajillion years. This required a lot of resources. A geothermal power plant. Great. We'll just start that. And requires advanced composites and hull parts. Yeah, we've got plenty of those lying about the place. This should be an awful lot faster, actually. So, while all of those drones are completed, we can see that... yeah, we've got patrols going around the place, but there's Terran fighters showing up here. The Terrans have made a resurgence. It seems us destroying their shipyard for a while did help. However, they just rebuilt their shipyard down here somewhere. And now all of the ships are coming from all the way down there, and they're pushing their way back through. So, Antigone Memorial is now contested. The Void is pretty much back under Terran control and contested. Then they've also pushed through to Frontier's Edge, which is Terran protectorate and contested. This is not great. Yeah, they're basically pushing their way through everywhere. Like, how do you stop the Terrans? we've literally given the Argon and the Antigons every advantage. I think I'm just going to have to go through and destroy the Terrans myself. Ugh. Well, this was a lot faster. Yeah. Okay, that's that done. Geothermal power plant completed. Now we can either do cheap refineries or clean refineries. I'm assuming the clean refineries are more expensive, so off we go. And then we'll just do factories. Okay, I see. There's actually a few choices we can make here. Oh, we're going to need smart chips. No problems. We got bunches of those. You can already see all of the ships getting assigned to pull in the smart chips. Yeah, we have a lot of infrastructure assigned for this terraforming. By the time we're finished with this, we should be able to knock out all the terraforming rather quickly is the plan. Things are definitely moving a lot faster now. We're actually plowing through these. It took pretty much an entire night to get the first one set up, but I think that might be because now we have so much infrastructure behind us. Also, I need to start storing stuff inside our station. If we check here, yeah, this is horribly lopsided and all that, but I'm just chucking on lots and lots of storage. And then I found a list of all the resources you need to do the terraforming projects, and I figured we just load up on all of them, and then we can teleport wherever we need, build it without having to import anything because the station will already be full. And then we can just jump out, top back up, and go somewhere else and do another one. This way we should be able to knock out the terraforming in no time at all. We did have to import 2 million ice onto this planet. I think there was multiple choices. I think I took the most expensive one. And that's next up. We've got to do this one as well, global water surfacing, which is hull parts and ice. And then we've got planetary irrigation, which requires hull parts and ice. Yeah, it turns out there's a lot of ice involved in the construction of a planet. So, from what I can see here, seismic activity has been reduced since we did the earthquake stopper thingy. Methane, since we did the methane oxidizer and oxidized methane, has been reduced quite substantially. Temperature is now not horrifying since we imported some water and put in some reflected clouds. Humidity is still not great. It's in the red. We need to get that to the green, I presume. So planetary irrigation it is. We're going to need a lot more ice. Like, a lot more. We're importing a bunch of it, but I hadn't planned out enough. It's okay. It's okay. This will just be our first terraforming event, and we'll be a little bit sloppy at it, but once we get this sorted out, we should be able to fly through the next ones. Well, things just got slightly more confusing. All right, we put in the water, we did the planetary irrigation, humidity's gone up to 2 notches, we still got a little bit more to go, but I thought we'd be moving on to jumpstart the biome or tailored microbes or something like that. But instead, it seems to have unlocked a new section back here, carbon mineralizers. Requires any group from Project Power, so we do have a geothermal power plant. Conditions, carbon dioxide. Pretty sure we got those somewhere. Yeah, we got carbon dioxide. Advanced electronics, claytronics, and refined metals. Yeah, we have all these things, I'm pretty sure. Nope, does not have all the resources. We're just a little bit short on the refined metals, but they're inbound. We will... How much refined metals does this thing take? 796,000? We have 796,000. Yeah, we got you covered. That should actually fly out pretty quick. Reason being is we just have all the resources on site. What I've been doing is preemptively going ahead and ordering in all the resources. So, for example, to do this one here, tailored microbes, we need a whole bunch of methane. 496,000 methane.
The current terraforming project has completed.
Oh, thanks for the heads up. Yes, methane, whatever you want to call it. We basically have hired a whole bunch of miners, like just lots and lots of them to take care of the problem. So they are just hauling in all of that methane, and we've got an upper limit of 2.1 million methane. So we should be able to cover the next project and all of the other methane requirements that are going to be near. We already 805,000 methane. Should be good on that front. Also, we're buying in ice. We literally couldn't mine it fast enough. We needed 2 million of this stuff, so I just said, who cares? I just chucked a bunch of money in here and said, buy me ice. We are strip mining ice out of the entire universe from everyone. We don't care. We just want to get this project done. Okay, mineralized carbon. Are you done? I'm just curious to see how this... Yeah, okay. Finished. Does that mean we have to do global water surfacing? No, that is done. Tailored microbes. Can we start you? No, we got a problem with humidity? Okay, so how do we fix the humidity? We need terraformer tech? Oh, it said global warming. The greenhouse gases in the atmosphere have trapped enough heat to significantly increase the global temperature. Conditions, methane, and temperature. Okay. Quick. Seismic activity is even taken down. We can't put in tectonic scaffolding. The von Neumann constructors. I think what these are is if you're Terran, you get builds that involve computronic substrate and the stuff that the Terrans build. So you can at least have a better chance of doing these or being able to afford them. But that still means we're missing something here because, oh, we can't use this. That wasn't allowed to be started because we've still got a humidity problem. Can't use this, still needs humidity. This increases humidity, but we can't start it because we need terraformer tech. What's going on? Oh, I think I get it now. Yeah. This here says it needs the humidity to be either yellow, green, or green. Humidity at the moment is red. So we need humidity to go up to at least yellow before this is accessible. You can do this jumpstart biome thing. This also requires it to be yellow, green, but yellow or green. Basically, these last 3 sections. So what we can do is we can pay to either import water again, and we can also decrease the temperature if we want by doing reflective cloud particles. So we can take the temperature down 1 notch if we want to. I think we'll do the import water. 2.8 million ice. How much ice have we got? We have 913,000 ice. We don't even have a whole million. That's just not fine. We'll import more water. I really wish we could do planetary irrigation again instead. Fine, import it. Get it started. Actually, what's global water service? Yep. No, never mind. We have to do this again. Now, another thing we could do is it seems there's a couple of projects down further we could actually build in. It was Bubble City. We could make a Bubble City that can house 10,000 people. Don't know what would be the point, though, just yet. We want to make this place very habitable first. So I'm thinking we're probably going to do, well, another temperature decrease as well. We want to get the temperature into the green range, so we'll crank down the temperature to green. We'll crank up the humidity to green, and then we're going to have to do, well, oxygen. Yeah, that just needs oxygen. I don't think we can affect the seismic activity anymore. That's just done. So we'll sort out temperature, we'll sort out humidity, and then we'll move on to the tailoring of the planet completely. So, much ice later, we've finally got the humidity to a level where we can start doing tailored microbes. Which, I'm not sure exactly what that'll do, but you know what? Go for it. Start it. We have all of the resources on site. This should hopefully be cranked out very quick. Oh, that was quick. We actually managed to launch all of the drones, and now we just got to wait the 10 minutes for this tailored microbes to finish. I think I know what we're going to do next. We're going to get this cyanobacteria. This will up oxygen by 2 numbers, or 2 notches. And then once we get, I think it's forestation, that'll up oxygen into the yellow. We're basically just going to have to tweak a few things here and there. I think one thing we're going to have to go back and do is probably do the oxidized methane to get rid of the last of the methane. That will remove the methane from over here because we do need to build a tropical resort. And from what I've seen under tropical resort, it requires a lack of methane, and it's also going to require a lot of oxygen. So we're probably going to have to do a few more oxygen producers, and we're also going to have to do another batch of humidity so that we can run the rainforest. So more ice, more ice, less methane, more oxygen, and we'll also get the housing in. But yeah, this should be fairly handy, except for the other 2-point-something million water we're going to have to... Yeah, another 2.8 million. I'll put that off as long as I can so we can stockpile the amount of ice we've got. We check in... here we are. Ice, how are we looking? Yeah, we are importing ice at an incredible rate. Like, that's just all the ice that's pouring in. I like to look at it from the outside here, and we can see that our ice... There's we theoretically have 999,000 ice. Yeah, it includes basically what you have and what you have inbound. That took me a while to figure out. It seemed very counterintuitive. But basically, this number on the left is how much you've got plus all the stuff you have inbound. Which means you could have a very high number here and there's actually nothing in your storage because it's all just on the way in. The fact that we're pulling in 379,000, 390,000 ice all the time, I think we'll top up on that 2 million that we need pretty quick. Turns out, while this is going through its countdown timer, you can actually start the next project. So, while the cyanobacteria is finishing up its research, we're just going to start launching the terraforming drones for fertilized soil. That should get our oxygen up to, well, levels high enough to do forestation. What's that going to cost us? Medical supplies and more methane. Well, I am glad we have a lot of methane harvesting going on. There we go. Couple of blocks of oxygen. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to go back and add more humidity, so we're probably going to have to do another import water. Yeah, we definitely will. But we'll leave that. I'm going to let that fill in the background. For now, we're going to concentrate on getting our oxygen levels up. I wonder what the planet looks like. I am not sure how different that planet looks. It's definitely less red. There was normally a lot more red in there. And if we speed up time a bit, Yeah, there's definitely a lot less volcanic red, but it's still not looking too habitable. Let's give it a little bit longer, shall we? So much resources sunk into this stuff. We're finally getting up to wheat fields. We need wheat fields to complete this objective, and we can finally build them. So we'll decrease carbon dioxide and increase oxygen. Done. We also got rid of the methane, so the methane's gone, the toxicity's gone, or radioactivity. Where's the carbon dioxide? Oh, carbon dioxide came back because we got rid of the methane. But that's okay. That's okay. Now that we've got the wheat fields on the way, they'll remove the last of the carbon dioxide as well. Damn it, I'm going to have to reduce the temperature again as well. Alright, wheat fields, you are slowly getting done. What I have realised, though, is this housing, we need to get 250,000,000 people housed here. I have been looking at the housing, and we can house 15,000 at a time using this. So, can I just basically queue up a bunch of those? That would be really nice. And let's see. No, we can do them one at a time. Oh, that's gonna suck. Right. Can we queue up other ones? 250,000 at, was it 15,000 apiece? I'm gonna need a lot of clicks. Sorry, let me rephrase that. 250 million at 15,000 apiece. Wait a minute, I need a calculator. Okay, I really hope there's something off here, or there's like some zero I'm missing, because according to my calculator, if I divide 250 million... Sorry. 250 million by 15,000, I get 16,666. So that's how many times I'm going to have to build high-density housing before it'll eventually be done. That's problematic. Oh, wait, we can just build an arcology. Primary effects, 200 million in housing. Oh, here was me thinking I was about to go crazy. No, that's fine. That's easy peasy. Yeah, 200 million people have housing. That's grand. Easy. Done in no time at all. Temperature-wise, yeah, we're still doing pretty good. We still got to do the... Was it tropical resort? So housing and tropical resort, and we're done. Though there is some stuff at the end I want to play with. My understanding is you can use these training facilities at the end to train up pilots. So you can use the aerial maze to train up pilots and the martial arts school to train up marines. I kind of want to play with those. All the prep work is done. Volcanic caps installed. Geothermal power plant done. Clean refineries, yes. Factories done. Carbon mineralizers, mineralized carbon, yes, twice, I think. Methane oxidizers, oxidized methane. No, it was oxidized methane we did twice. God, we imported water 4 times. Just 2,800,000 ice every time. Planetary irrigation, reflective cloud particles, twice. Tailored microbes, okay. Fertilized soil, cyanobacteria, forestation, wheat fields, all check. Oh, and install the aerial maze, but I haven't got around really to playing with it too much. Don't care. What we want to put in is the tropical resort. Once that's done, we finish this mission, or we finish this challenge, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, we have all the parts in place. In fact, this station is stocked to the gills with everything needed for terraforming. We're even getting in the biogas we're going to need for some of the boron ones. Like everything. I found a list and I'm like, yeah, we're just going to stock or double stock everything. Might want to increase the amount of space we assign towards ice as well. Maybe check that up a little bit more. Oh, we're actually out of storage space on the ship, on the station. We can add in more storage space. How about... Oh, we're already building storage space. Yeah, this is basically just all storage. We have been adding as much storage as we possibly can. Oh, that's container storage. I'm going to need to get more solid storage for the ice. That giant list there, oh, damn it, there, is all of the drones being built. There should be just a massive swarm of them that get unleashed. We have a lot of... Yep, there you go. Now, they'll all pop out. They'll start heading towards the planet. And once they disappear, I think we're done on this terraforming project. And then I don't think we get anything for it, except that the Antigone Republic should build a shipyard in this sector if it wasn't already owned by the Paranid. I don't think the sector's supposed to be owned already. So that might cause a problem, because this was taken over by the Paranid guys, because, well, there was no one else here, and all the Xenon were wiped out. Let's hope it's not that annoying. Alright, they're all magically disappearing off the edge of the map, except for that one. Hey, are you done? Come on. Actually, 1 second. Let's teleport over to our little ship that's supposed to be observing the planet. That definitely looks prettier.
Right away. We have completed our current terraforming project.
Nice. There's no
We have
burniness anymore.
completed our current terraforming project.
Hey, I heard you the first time.
The materials will be sent down as soon as possible.
Oh, I might have been map view or something, so we never got a chance to tell me all
Current
the other projects
terraforming
we've done.
project has completed.
Yeah, I heard you.
Production will start right away.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Today, we are experiencing history. Here I am on the freshly named world of Cinder, standing in a field. The weather is warm, but not uncomfortably so. A few clouds pass overhead, and a light breeze rustles the grain around me. To think that not too long ago this place was about as inhospitable as they come. It's staggering. One can't help but be hopeful for the future. If things like this can be achieved, well, this was Tracy Barron, reporting on location for ANC News. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some awe to get back to.
Aww. Right. Oh, wow. Okay. So, when we did the terraforming project, there was a host maze run competition I did. It has a cooldown, so we can't do it again. There's also group training, which I can't do because you need trainees. This one also requires trainees. I might have to get some people and put them on the station. Long story short, after running it, I was just advised there that the winners ended up on the station. So we have a 5-star pilot and then 2 4-star pilots as well. That's really handy. If you want some high-level pilots, it seems you can just sort of buy them then, as long as you're willing to do the terraforming. Okay, but this terraforming was done. Let's just go through some of the dumb stuff. Okay. Firstly, there's a few things I learned. One, the maximum amount of subordinates a station can have is 256. This is like an integer thing with binary. Either that or the people who decided on that number were like, hey, let's make it 256. This is all the ships assigned to it. A lot of Demeter Sentinels, a lot of Shayaku Vanguards and Shayaku Sentinels, and a whole bunch of mineral miners and gas miners for the methane and ice, respectively. Yeah, this thing's just maxed. It's stuffed to the gills. While this whole thing was going on, what I was doing was also expanding these areas over here. This is all of our core production. Hull parts and Claytronics come from a whole bunch of scrapyards, but this place produces all the intermediate products. So, for example, if you would like to get your hands on advanced electronics, antimatter converters, drone components, field coils, missile components, shield components, turret components, all that stuff, all here. The liquid stuff does antimatter cells, plasma conductor, quantum tubes. Basically, anything that's not hull parts and Claytronics gets made in these 3 factories. Problem was, we needed more. We needed more. So, let's just take, actually, start with ore. Initially, the ore factory was just this, going most of the way back. This last section wasn't built. Then we just doubled it up. So, we've doubled up production, and I think we can quad up production. 1 second. There. That's a whole separate module. That whole 1 block section there is basically a reasonably balanced mining setup for solids. And then when we want to expand it out even more, we just grab this block here. We say copy sequence. Oop. Damn it. 1 second. Let me redo this. You see, when you do builds this big, it starts to get a bit wonky. 1 second. We want to click that one. And we want to hit right click, but we don't want to actually click it just yet. We need to get into position because the game's going to start lagging like crazy the moment we hit copy sequence. Then we hit copy sequence, and then we attach it to the rear. Done. And then you basically just keep repeating that as you go along, slowly expanding that out. That is basically the whole reason I'm able to expand these out without pulling my hair out incredibly, like, all the time, because it's just so annoying otherwise. Like, if we check under the liquid section, you'll see a sort of a similar theme going on here, as this one is also expanding out. And even on the everything else one. This everything else one actually fell behind an awful lot. Problem was, I queued up a bunch of building, but the game glitched out and didn't build anything. So while it was running overnight, on the first night, it didn't get any building in, so it fell behind all the others. It's starting to slowly, it'll never actually catch back up the whole way, but it's definitely chugging along. As you can see, this is a much chunkier and bigger build. This thing is one of these modules goes from about here. I started falling into this habit of making 4 docks attached to one central point here and using this as the copy point. And then you just make sure that you've got a place at the back you can attach it to. You'll notice that there is this little jut out at the back so that can attach to it. And then it's usually a pretty easy case of configuring a sort of a stand that comes down so you can plop this down beneath something. As in, we can chuck it down here by just attaching on a couple of struts to the bottom of this building here. So if we attach one strut there, we're actually coming outside the build area, but if you attach 2 struts down there, that means you can then paste on the entire build below it. The reason you need 2 struts is because these little docks, those docks unfortunately do require a little bit of space for ships to dock at them. I can't imagine how some of them are going to get in under there, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But basically, we've doubled or more all of our production of all of those resources just to keep up with the terraforming. But I think the most important thing is just how much we've expanded the resource storage of our headquarters. It's now holding pretty much all the materials we're going to need. Like, look at the graphene content in there. That is, like, there's 391,000 graphene. Most of the things we have here will basically fill any need of any terraforming project. And this was one of the harder ones. Fast forwarding a little bit, we can see the Antigons are actually building a shipyard here. So it did exactly what it said on the tin. Oh, yeah, so the Antigons will expand in here. All right, next up, I think we're going to do the next 2 terraforming projects that are all related to the Antigons. We want to make them a little bit stronger, see if that helps. I am not holding out a lot of hope that this is going to strengthen the Antigons too much. Well, enough to push back the Terrans. Now, I did realize I'd been making a mistake over here in Gaian's Prophecy. This is the POI, or the Pioneers. The Sagaris Pioneers used to be attached to the Terran Protectorate, but then the gates shut down, they got cut off, and then they're now kind of friendly with them, but they don't want to get too friendly because they like their independence a bit, you know? But they have all the same tech as the Terrans. So what I did was I built a factory in here so I could build up all of the Terran-required buildings so that once the Terrans are hopefully annihilated, we can still produce all the Terran-related materials. This is actually... Each one of those stacks is like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 builds, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, so that's 20 builds right there, stacked nice and neat. This is actually one of the better designs. Yeah, this is why everyone says the Terrans are basically Duplo blocks. They're super simple to put together. Like, they only have a few requirements. Like, look at this. This is everything. This is their entire tech tree all on one page. Yeah, metallic microlattice, computer substrate, and silicon carbide, all done. The problem was, I was allowing people to trade with this. Not the Terrans, I'm not completely crazy, but what I was allowing it to happen was basically the Argons and the Antigons, which, if we check in here, it's not just the Argons and the Antigons. It's actually the Alliance of the Word, the Antigone Republic, the Argon Federation, the Atikvit Free League, and the Queendom of Boron. They're all friendly to trade with, and I want them all to have, get as boosted in power as possible. The problem was, some of them were taking these resources, and they were selling them to the Sagaris Pioneers, or the Terrans, which meant that technically I was actually fueling both sides of the war again, just by accident. Like, how was I supposed to know they were going to take those resources and resell them to the Terrans, or the Pioneers would resell them to the Terrans? I didn't know that was going to happen. I just assumed no one was going to buy them because these pieces of equipment are of no use to the rest of the Commonwealth. They're only useful to the Terrans. And yet, somehow, this place was making absolutely gobsmackingly large amounts of money. Yeah, so about 15 hours ago of game time, I figured this out, and you can see all the trades that we're going through. Yeah, so, I put a stop to that. See that minus 230 million? Yeah, that was a transfer to our bank account. Yeah, this was a pretty profitable station, I will admit. At the same time, there's still $500 million in funds just sitting in the account. I didn't put that there. We did a lot of sales. But again, that was an accident. I didn't mean to be arms dealing to both sides, but that I think might explain why the Terrans were able to push back in so much. My hope is that once I cut them off, which was a long time ago, that everyone else would start pushing them back, which hasn't happened as much as I'd like, but Destiny has seen a turn in the tide a little bit. We'll see what happens once we get through the rest of the terraforming, which hopefully, says again, should be a lot faster now that we've got all the production done and we have all of our infrastructure built out. And, I have turned on other over here. And on the suggestions of other people, I went into the filters. And what I did was I just turned off show orders and show allied orders. What that does is it gets rid of all of those lines. So now I can look around the map with this on, and I can see, oh, yeah, like this pink here, That's the new Paranid faction as they've been united. You can check over here and we can see that the light blue is the Terran, or the slightly darker blue, that's the Sagaris Pioneers. The blue over here is the Antigons, who should jump on those ships, start killing them. Never mind. But all in all, I think that went terribly badly. That was an horrendous terraforming experience. Namely, I was not prepared. I think we should be able to knock out the next two real quick in the next episode, and then at that point, it just remains to be seen if we're going to have to go in and wipe out the Terrans. Because I figure, if we wipe out the Terrans and we wipe out the Sagaris Pioneers, there's no one left to rebuild them. You see, the thing is, to rebuild Terran or Sagaris stuff, you need to have, here it is, computronic substrates, silicon carbide, metallic microlattice. The only people who produce that are the Terrans and the POI. So if we wipe out both of those, no one can rebuild them. It doesn't matter if they have friends or allies elsewhere, and they can go, hey, we've got infinite amounts of money, would you rebuild our stuff for us? They'll be like, well, we don't have access to silicon carbide or any of that stuff, and no one does, except me, and I'm going to limit access to that to just me. So, yeah, that should mean that they'll be completely wiped out, and I want to see what the other factions do when they move into their territory. I'd prefer not to have to wipe them out ourselves, but if we do, I'm thinking a mega carrier fleet should be the way to go. But okay, this has already gone on far too long. And by far too long, I mean this was supposed to be out on Friday, and today's Monday. So yeah, this took a lot longer than I was anticipating. Apologies for that. I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.